heading towards a floor test. And if that happens, then can the Aghadi government survive? We have put up the possibilities for you, and this is scenario 1. If the Shinde Sena abstains from voting, if there is a floor test, that would make the majority mark to 125. As far as the numbers are concerned, the Aghadi coalition, Shiv Sena, what's remaining with Uddhav Thackeray, NCP and Congress make up for 124. The independents that are with Shiv Sena are 10 in number, with the rebels, I beg your pardon, and the rebels of course stand at 39. NDA is at 114. Now if these 39 MLAs abstain from voting when there is a trust vote, the Aghadi government may perhaps fall by 1 vote or 1 seat, or perhaps sail through if they can manage to get 1 or 2 independents on their side. That is the scenario number 1. There are many possibilities that are happening there. The NDA could perhaps succeed in toppling the Aghadi government. It is going to be a wafer-thin margin if that really happens. That is scenario number 1. Scenario number 2 is if the Shinde Sena votes against the Aghadi government. Then the numbers as far as Aghadi, NDA, the rebels and the independent is concerned remain the same. 124, 10 with the 39, which brings them to 49. The NDA is at 114. Now the majority mark is still at 145, but in this particular case, the Aghadi government will fall by a much larger margin, by about 20 votes or so. That's the big takeaway. So what the Aghadi government has to now stop from happening is that the Shinde Sena actually votes against them. If they abstain, then perhaps the Aghadi government can manage to keep the power. Arunil and Radhika with me for more on this. And Radhika, at 5 o'clock today, when the cabinet meets in Maharashtra at the Mantralaya, this perhaps is going to be top of the agenda.
Yes, absolutely. You know, as far as the cabinet meeting is concerned, this is one of the most crucial one, and perhaps the last one as far as Uddhav Thackeray government is concerned. Of course, this has been pushed from 2:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Perhaps after, understanding the fact that Devendra Fadnavis has in fact flown to Delhi, perhaps they're looking at what the developments will be on that front, and after which this meeting is set to take place in Mantralaya today. One of the most important aspects that will be considered would be, of course, the constitutional framework as well as legal framework with respect to the current situation. And one of the another important aspects is to ensure that floor test doesn't happen as soon as possible is something that the Uddhav Thackeray government would be wanting. So therefore, there is a possibility that they could move the court if a floor test is called by the governor, stating that there is a disqualification petition pending before the Supreme Court. So that is a likelihood. So right now, of course, all the possibilities being looked into, and most contentious one, which is Uddhav Thackeray's resignation. Will he be giving immediately, or will he wait for the floor test to be called? Will he do it in the floor of the House? Will he wait for that floor test before, giving out that resignation? Because even today, even now, some of the people within the Uddhav Sena are stating, some of the leaders are saying that they're still in touch with many of those rebel MLAs. So therefore, they are in a sense confident that they could perhaps win the floor test too, some of them at least. So yes, all these will be part of the discussion. Resignation, floor test, and of course all the legal and constitutional framework as far as this entire political situation is concerned will be discussed in this crucial cabinet meeting, which will be held at 5 p.m. in Mantralaya today.